Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to Pandemic Playgrounds. And today we are going to be building a FPV drone. So let's get started. Now, if you guys are not familiar what FPV drones are, it's basically first person view drones, and it's similar to what you would find in drone racing in real life. And I've kind of built a little mock-up over here to show you guys what the problems we run into with space engineers on building a drone like this. So let's begin. Now, we have a standard drone right here. I kind of put just 4 motors on there and a gyroscope in the middle with the remote control block and an antenna. So I also have it on 2 hinges and a rotor. Now, I'm going to turn up my controller, and I'm going to be using an Xbox controller to show you guys this. And what you need to do is actually make sure on the controls you have flight alternative for the Xbox controller. And let me pop open my Xbox controller. You should be able to see it on screen now. And I'm going to pop a little bit higher over here so you kind of see what the drone is going to do. And I'll show you what the complications I'm running into. So first, I'm going to remote control this drone and remote access small grid this guy. And first, if you take a look at the controls, if I move this, I have my yaw. Okay, so that's perfect. On flight alternative, my left stick going left and right will give me my yaw. Now, if I was to use this up and down over here, gives me my pitch. Okay, which is also great. Then you have your left and right, which gives me my roll. You see that? It gives me my roll. And I'm just trying to fix myself right now, but we have everything that we need except for the thrust up and down. So if I was to go this way a little, okay, and you would see if I was to go thrust up and down, you see nothing happens. That's because in the flight alternative, this actually just goes forward and back, and that's where our problem is. Now, in order to go thrust up and down, we have to hold the left key, L1, and then you could go thrust up and down. You can see now the thrusters are moving up and down. That's on the left key. Now, it's very important to use the thrust up and down during FPV flight. So what I ended up doing was building a drone like so, but I mapped this motor, okay, this thruster that goes forward and back to also run the thrusters for up and down. So this way my joystick would actually be able to control it using the left and right, the up and down on the left stick to thrust up and down. So let me show you guys how that will work, and I'll show you guys my script in a second. So let's pop into this guy, remote access FPV drone, and I have my camera and also my motors to be activated. So first I am gonna turn on my motors, and if you see, as soon as I hit thrust up, it does that. And I'm going to thrust up a little, and now I'm going to hit my camera view. So now I could actually fly it kind of the way I needed to with the angle this way. Now I'm still practicing on how to fly a drone in real life, so I'm not that great, but for people who are actually drone pilots, you might be able to fly this a little bit better than me. So I could go forward, just tip it a little bit, pull up a little, kind of I'm trying to see if I can get an aerial view of this, and I'm still trying to get this. Seems to be okay. Pull up my nose, and that's basically it. If you are really good at drone flying, I'm pretty sure you could probably do some really cool tricks. I still can't do it. Let me see if I could do a 360 roll. So drop the throttle, roll a little bit. I can't do it right now, but yeah, ultimately, I need to throttle up, pull my nose up. You could basically fly FPV this way. Now I do have, I believe I have my dampeners on, so that's why I'm having some weird functions with this, because my dampeners has to be off in order for this to work, because it's trying to fix itself. So yeah, I'm just basically flying. man, the controls are still a bit sensitive, as you can see. But yeah, roll, and then yaw. Nose up a little, yaw. Oh, I'm dropping down. Get my nose back up. Now my camera is at a little tiny bit of an angle, so this way going forward does look like it's actually going forward. Let's see. Can I get closer to the ground? Lower the thrust a little. Now I pump up the thrust. I still can't land. I'm not very good at landing FPV drones yet. Oh, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it gives me the ability to actually practice flying FPV. I just gotta get a little bit used to the controls because it's a little bit sensitive. But the idea is there. It's so cool. Oh my god, I lost it. I lost it. I lost it. Alright guys, so ultimately you get the idea what I did. So to build this, I'm just gonna use this as an example. First, you need the 4 thrusters, 2 batteries, or 1. It depends on how much weight you want. You got your remote and your antenna. You can actually put a seat here so you don't need to angle the camera yourself. You could just sit there and do it yourself if you want. But the most important part is the programming block. So programming block right here, and drop that in here. And I will have this script up on Pandemic Playground, but it's a really simple script. So what I would do is, let me get this script. Actually, before I do that, let's place all the motors that we need. Now, for thrusters, we will need 1 in the back because that's a forward thrust, and that's what we're trying to take the data from. Now, kind of counteract the action of the forward thruster, I would put a thruster in the front as well. Okay, so with that in mind, I know that this one is the back thruster. Yeah, okay. So these will have to be grouped together as thrust, okay? And then this one will be grouped as F thrust. Okay, so F thrust and regular thrust. Okay, and then in our script that I put together, go over to edit, browse script, and I put this little FPV drone, copy to editor. And to go down real quick, it basically updates every 10 clicks. And in here, it basically searches for the F thrust, and it's going to pull the current thrust. And then it'll find anything that says thrust, the group name with thrust, and replace that value with this. Basically, it'll take the current thrust and put it into the thrust override. And that's basically about it. So I'm going to hit OK. It shouldn't have a problem. And if it does, that means I spelled something wrong. Oh, sorry. You didn't need to group the first thruster. That's my problem. So I could delete this. This thruster just has to be called F thrust. And now I can go back to the programming block, recompile, and there we have it. And as I move the stick, this should change number. It doesn't matter if it was just some reference that I was using. But now if I go forward, oh, gotta take control of it first. Now if I move forward, and also you gotta turn off the dampeners. It would counteract. The front thruster would counteract the rear thrusters, but it will also give you the thrust upward. And let me see if I'm gonna accidentally destroy this. Hold on, let me go into it and remove it. Actually, you know what, let me put a seat on here. The problem is I don't have a camera on here and I don't want to angle it, so I'm just gonna put a little control seat here. Can I put it anywhere? Well, I could put it here. I'm hoping I could just take off the landing gear and it should fly upward. Let's see. Oh, there we have it. It's flying. The rotor is kind of acting weird. Dampeners are off. This has a little bit better control, but I will need to angle my nose up a little like this so I can see where I'm going. And it goes pretty quick with 4 thrusters. I could do a 360. I should be able to do a roll. And I should be able to get pretty close down to the bottom. It's not stable because I got that rotor keep spinning. And I wish I could take that off, but yeah, basically that's it. Ooh. Let me see if I could try to land this guy. Alright, it's coming down. Too much, too much. Ooh! Yeah, I kind of failed that. Anyway, that's about it, guys. If you guys want to play around with this script, it'll be on our pandemic workshop. And yeah, it's something super simple I was putting together. I mean, I'm definitely not a good pilot in FPV. I mean, I've been just trying to play with it in real life for the past couple of weeks or a week or two. And I found this very interesting to be able to build yourself one in Space Engineers and fly very similar to it. So now I could actually have some practice time instead of having to crash my real drone. And yeah, that's about it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.